Okay.
And fiscal year 13 was 58, and it went up 14 to 82.
Well, we were way off on that.
Okay.
Scott. So we were way off.
So,
We were way off on that.
and it's got 9 employees.
Right. So when we're at full staff, you have, I don't know what our, that's what I'm saying, the whole salary, that's in the next 3 weeks. We gotta figure this out. That's a real number from this year. We're way off on a lot of these numbers.
Why is the nine employees? We have 9?
Yeah,
Do we have 9?
not anymore.
No.
We have 2, 3, 2.5.
But I mean, we have,
But
what, how many
so
do
do you
we
wanna
have?
cut
7? 8?
I don't know
How
what.
many employees do we have?
So what I see
We have
is,
John, Laura,
Well, you had 5 out in the garage,
2
2 in the
Jasons.
office, and 7, and John,
you
8.
got 8 employees.
you got an administrative assistant.
We have a temporary employee.
You gotta have a
We
new
had
person,
4
we're gonna start
employees.
interviewing, hopefully in the next 2 weeks too, for that position. You do have these positions.
We pay health insurance to our summer help.
We're working, Roy wanted to work on making that position into a full-time position,
Uh-huh.
Jerry.
What's it, yeah.
So, yeah,
We need him right now, we get nobody else.
We have 8 positions, so you must,
Anything over 20 hours, you have to.
we put in,
if
did
it's
we
working for you.
budget for,
Yeah.
did we budget
That's
for
within.
an extra,
for the new person.
for a new person? That's where the 9 comes from?
This number can change a little bit in the next 4 weeks.
Laura, just not to interrupt,
Yep.
but you're working with a team at Town Hall,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think all the people that you're working kind of with, wouldn't it, did you ever get a actual, what it's gonna, like you got county retirement, is that solid, is that in ink?
So, yeah, so.
Did you get all these numbers
Oh,
at
yeah.
Town Hall, or
Yeah,
were they just?
Sue Bailey.
you know,
Sue
okay,
Bailey
okay.
gave, yep.
Yep.
This is something Sue gave me. Another area, you know, we overfunded life insurance. I mean, I don't know where the $512 came from. I don't know.
Laura, what I was looking at is, under your descriptions, under health insurance 21,
Yep,
maybe it's gonna be reflecting back how many employees you have, because if you
right.
If you
That's
go
what's-
9,
yeah.
you're looking at about 9,000 a person. So if you're cutting 1, you could
Yeah.
take
Exactly,
82.
exactly, Jeff.
Am I right?
Yep.
You know, you
Yep.
could,
I
you could
think
drop
this-
that down to
This
83.
is an area in the next 3
I mean,
weeks.
73.
I'm still
That's
hung
gonna
up,
help you a few thousand
Yeah, you're
there.
right.
One employee.
I'm still hung up on 9. I don't, where's the ninth person?
Good thing of adding.
We had a new person for the treatment plant.
Oh, you added a new
Yeah.
person.
So we
So, I
need,
mean-
the whole treatment plant, our whole staffing is gonna change quickly here. The way I see it. in the next
What I'd
month.
like to do, Laura, if it's possible, is maybe have a meeting first of next week, and let us think about what we're gonna cut here. Can we do that without getting in
This
trouble
has-
down there?
We had, they want this like Monday morning.
Well, you get,
You were meeting with the selectmen at 6, so if you wanna call a meeting right before that, we can go through it
well,
one
if I
more
remember
time.
correctly, last year, the budget, we didn't pass the budget until there was March 31st. I
Well, they
believe.
took everything out. I mean,
Okay.
they took out
So
everything.
before the budget was
This
approved,
is
so,
gonna change
you know,
100 times.
yeah, it's kind of
No
that's
doubt
why
about
it's
it. No doubt
draft
about
1,
it.
draft 2.
I think we
you
did
know.
19 drafts last time.
Because
So,
last year's budget, I do believe,
You're
was
right.
finalized March 31st.
you're right. So we, you know, but we're late this year getting
So
it all.
what do you wanna do? Have like
I
a quickie
say-
meeting before, the joint meeting with the selectmen, is that what you're saying?
Huh?
Monday night?
If you wanna have a meeting, it has to go over to the selectmen. I don't know how, you have to do it before Monday. Before they meet at 8 o'clock. I don't know,
Could we have a
I-
quickie thing Monday night
We
before that?
get, we're gonna be with the
6 o'clock. I
6
think.
o'clock.
6.
Okay, so then, I think next Monday night would be out of the question. with the Board of Selectmen.
So what I'm doing
Because we're gonna
now,
be busy with the Board of Selectmen and other matters.
so what I'm doing now, Roy, I think it'd be good, I'd take out the
Yeah, you're
5,000.
gonna have executive session.
Send them another draft, is that what you're saying?
Send them this draft, take out the 5, I'll take out another 10 out of health insurance, I don't know if that's a number or not. So there's 15.
We're gonna be careful with
So
health
you could-
insurance, because I mean.
You're gonna pay it anyway, you're gonna pay it no matter what. This is not something that's negotiable.
Right,
We're paying it. So if you wanna take it out, I'll take it out.
I don't think we should take it out of that, because we have to pay that.
So the only thing that we talked about tonight is we're gonna take out the capital articles and we reduce the fuel by 5,000. I don't think it's gonna change, and the rate structure we're gonna give is the first one with the discount.
2,000.
The 1641,
And 5,000 on this is not gonna.
No, I mean,
That's not
Make the
budgeted.
changes to this, make
That's
the
not-
changes to
send it
this.
over.
Well, you
Send
could
it
do
with the,
10,
with
you could
the,
cut that in half,
with the rate schedule, send it over. And if they wanna meet,
right?
it would
They're
have to
gonna
be
wanna
the
meet with
18th.
you. They wanna meet
It would,
with you.
okay, it would have to be the 18th, because Monday night, we have other business
Yeah.
at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it would be the following Monday.
Well,
be
they're
able to
gonna
go
tell
over,
us,
or,
yeah, they're gonna
you know,
tell us.
Yeah, well, send it over and
I
see
see.
what,
Okay.
you know,
I
It
think what you ought to
says-
do though, Laura, excuse me, is check with Debbie tomorrow. See what would be acceptable, like you say, a rough draft, Roy, subject to change.
right.
She
You're
said that,
looking at articles.
yeah, I had sent this over the weekend. Unfortunately, I didn't send this Form 6, because I wasn't sure which way we were going.
No,
So I left it off, and she wanted me, she said, send the draft over with Form 6. Because you're right, they're gonna call us in, and this budget.
Oh, yeah.
This budget's not gonna look like this in
No.
3 weeks.
No,
You know, I'm sure of it.
no.
and
So,
you know, we were talking here, and I really think if you gave this, you know, we're jumping all around tonight, but my own opinion and signing bills up to the town hall for the electric light department that run, what do they have, four trucks, 5? And paying for the manager's cars, gas, and the foreman. They got about 7 vehicles. And this under 31 vehicle fuel, I could see you cutting that down. And if you look really into it, I don't care at $4 a gallon. If you average that down, right now you're paying, if you average it out, it would be about, what are we talking? 2,000 a
well,
week
she's got it,
would be,
A month,
I mean, a month.
That's
so
probably true.
25,000, 24,
Yeah,
25,000.
so if you were spending $600 to run these vehicles, I mean, I'm just looking at what I run, 2 vehicles a week, and I don't spend 300 in town. Our trucks are the same thing in town. They're not going to Newburyport, they're not going to Boston once or twice a week. If you really looked into the fuel, I think you could wage, even if you put $22,000, you could cut that in half. And just fuel, Roy. I mean, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
No, think about it. What you would put in that truck to run it a week.
We're gonna be saving some in the last month or two, it must be.
What was actually-
way
Yeah, I
down
mean, you
too.
had vehicles running all around. I'm talking
what was
even
spent
running
in
5
'05 on that, see, I don't
vehicles.
have what was
Well, it's
appropriated.
38, because that's
At
what I
15.
remember, from 012 to 13.
600.
I can see what was appropriated for 13, but I don't know what
It's the same number.
expended in
That's
don't
actual
know.
low
Yeah,
flow.
I don't, if I was here every day,
Yeah.
It
seeing
was
what these
38.
guys do every
It
day,
was high.
I could say,
The light
this is
department's
what we're
running
doing.
diesel.
Yeah, I know, I
You
know.
know, when they compare us.
Yeah, but that's higher though,
They-
Laura, too.
And I just looked at Knowles, that is running less. at
No,
Knowles.
the
No,
diesel's
diesel
more
is
money.
Oh, really?
more money now, isn't it?
I think she's
Around 4.
409,
Diesel.
410.
Oh, I just looked 2
Diesel's more
weeks
money than
ago.
gasoline.
Huh?
What do we,
Diesel's more money than gasoline.
what do we,
I can put in 20, and then like, we'll see at town meeting, I can always fix it at town meeting.
What
what
is,
is the Karen got a procurement with noses for
Yes.
per gallon.
Yeah, that's right, there's another thing.
Okay.
No, we
You get
do, we're
you
part
get a
of that.
discount.
Right.
We're
Okay.
part of that, we're part of
Yeah,
that.
right,
We're
the
part of
whole
that.
town is.
This is a real number though, Jack, 38 is a real number.
You sure of that? Wow.
So 38,
So where,
Well,
you've got
52
here
weeks a
10,000
year,
gallons
it's
times
$100 a week.
450. We paying 450 a
I
gallon?
don't, no, not yet,
No,
but I put
no.
that in.
wait a minute now, so 38,250, is
So
that an
that's why you
actual
got the
number or is that
45.
an estimated number?
Yeah,
What-
I know.
What Jack and I are getting at,
What if
as
we
I
got
said
that-
earlier, taking the belt a notch was, the employees have a better handle on their, driving. For example, the police department, I believe they're allowed like 45 miles a shift.
How about if we took that, well,
I'll
you got
put it down to
45?
20, you wanna
Oh,
take
I'd like to
20,
see us
What's
go
the actual-
25.
We could cut that
Take
way
20
down.
off from it.
make it 25?
Do we,
Yeah, I mean, just to be on the safe side, because you plow snow, I mean, you're gonna use more, you know what I'm saying?
The problem that we have here too is that we have to, if we're wrong and we need money in May, we have to raise rates, collect money by June 30th. It's impossible. It's impossible to run this operation, but we could take that out of miscellaneous. I mean, I can do that. I'll put that at 25.
what is usually done is if you're going, okay, to, you have an article for the special town meeting
Right,
to have your appropriation for that fiscal year, so you don't have to
If you have
go
free
into the
cash.
next,
If you
if you
have
have
free
free cash.
The reason why we have free cash this year, and I'll be clear about
It's
this.
because of our rate structure.
No, because we went monthly billing. We
Right,
went from quarterly to monthly, that's the only reason,
Right,
guys.
that's the only
I increased dollar to dollar, we had 2 additional billings that we didn't plan. So this is not a luxury business. People probably see free cash and say, oh, it's the rates. It's not. It's that we went, May and June are 2 monthly collections that we didn't anticipate for that year. That's the only reason. We never have free cash like this. And I don't even know what the number is, because we're still
yeah,
waiting.
well, gas is, is hard, but I mean, we've
I
been,
could take it out, and we
no,
can
I mean,
fix
I
it.
don't wanna say what the light department paid, but they have, they get 5, 6 vehicles, 3 running, but 3 blind, then you got the.
I mean, we got one less
Well,
right now.
My car is $60 a month, $60 a week. So
Yeah.
at 50, if we have 5,200, just put $100 a week in for fuel times 52 weeks. I don't know, is that a
Right.
good number?
do we have an actual number from?
38,250 is an actual that was an actual number the year before, we put the actuals in.
No, what I'm saying is we got one less vehicle that we're running.
Yeah,
So, I mean, we could cut something there, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I'll cut it in half, I don't know.
if you need it later, it's a thing, that it's a must. You could
You
Go
can't-
somewhere, I mean, you can get a transfer, or it's a
Everything,
must.
so
For
every-
gas,
what's
you gotta
involved?
run the vehicle.
What's
everything
involved
is
in
gonna
the
be a
transfer?
transfer now. This is not anything that the water department's gonna do without 52 people knowing.
Right,
So if we're wrong on 25, we're gonna come to the selectmen, so you're gonna see us, and we'll say, well, we cut that back to 25 and we really need 40.
right.
So you're gonna have to vote on that, and everybody's gonna be voting on all of
Yeah.
this.
door locked behind me.
The other door open.
If that,
What do you guys think?
I can do
I
it.
think that,
We got 20,000 on it?
I think that's cutting it short.
make the fuel 30 and miscellaneous 20.
There's an idea. So add for the miscellaneous, add another 20 for the miscellaneous, and take off that for the fuel.
But and I've looked at this, it's not gonna budge a penny in your
Okay.
rates, just so you know, I'll be happy to do this. And it's gonna work out on a $2 million budget, taking 10,000 or 15,000 is not gonna budge the rate much.
Well,
We're
not-
looking for big
not-
numbers.
By itself, but if you can get other savings
Right.
along with
If
that,
you go after
so
the
that your
indirect costs,
number builds,
you might be
then
onto
you-
something there.
then you can, singularity, no, but if you can put a bunch of savings together that will
Chris,
come up to us.
$200,000
Oh, I know.
cut
But
is
like I
50
said,
cents.
Laura, you're looking, I'm
It's
looking
50 cents on your budget,
at
on the
the,
degree.
I was looking at the health insurance. Went from 58 to
Well,
82,
that was wrong.
okay?
You're wrong.
So,
That's a wrong, we had a lot of wrong numbers in there.
which
So
number is
last year
wrong?
we
The
had a lot of wrong
58 or
numbers.
the
Yeah.
82? Which number is wrong, the 58 or the 82?
It's really 82. You're gonna see indirect costs in here that are, and we have to pay that, you know that stuff.
So last year, we had a lot of.
So last year, indirect costs, the town accountant charged us more than we put in there. We had a lot of wrong numbers in.
Well,
in
there's
there.
10 grand right there between the town accountant and the
I think
treasurer.
I think
There's 10 grand
right
that
there.
we're paying for a
That's-
job that they're already getting paid
So
for.
10 there and another 15 there, so now you're up to.
You know, you have these 10
25.
grands up, at
Exactly.
the end of it, you get to hundreds.
And that's what you need. You need hundreds.
Yeah.
You make a budge on this budget.
Well, can we, have a meeting the first of the week sometime and make up our mind what we're gonna do?
Well, we're meeting with, we're gonna be up to the Board of Selectmen Monday night, if you want to, I'm fine with Tuesday night or any time after that.
Or do we wanna take a half an hour either before or after the joint meeting and go over this?
Well, that, you gotta talk to, you know what, we
What are we gonna
go over this,
We
go over this.
talked about these things, we could just make a motion to take these things down, finalize it tonight, and get the thing off and going.
Yeah, but we haven't made up, nobody's made up their mind about the discount bit.
No, I think we gotta give the discount, honestly.
I agree 100%.
I heard Scott tell me this, you know, I heard everybody say to me, how are we gonna cut it? And that was just, I threw it out there.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that that's the right thing for any of us to do in this climate.
Not right now.
But I hear that you guys don't like the budget, you don't like the rates. I can't do anything about it.
Oh, I know,
I mean,
I know.
we can cut 5 or 6,000 or 10,000, but it's really still a $2 million budget.
Yes,
It is, it is.
because of the debt,
And let's
is what we're picking
Let's
up,
give the debt away.
you know?
I mean, I can't, I've been looking at it way too long, I need a day off from it,
So-
to be honest with you. And I'm open to anybody's suggestions.
I would
mean, I
say-
want the pleasure of the board.
Laura, with what I would say, with what we've gone for the changes tonight, incorporate the changes, take what we agreed to take out, okay? And cut.
Put it in draft 2 and send it.
Put it in draft 2. Talk
send it
to,
over?
and send it, okay, with the rate structure
Okay,
as draft 2.
okay, all right. So,
No finalization of
No,
anything, because
no.
we don't have anything finalized yet.
They're
We
not
don't have
done.
final numbers.
they're not done with us.
No. So I wouldn't finalize anything, that'd be my recommendation,
Can we
yes.
just, can we just talk about,
Well,
so I'm gonna change the fuel to 30.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
change the miscellaneous to 20, is what you just said, so.
Miscellaneous, you can add 20.
Add 20.
Yeah.
What, go to 50? We don't want to be adding
No,
to this, we
miscellaneous
want to be
line 39.
subtracting from it.
So you wanna go down to the fuel budget and not have money to pay the fuel?
Oh, they're saying that, you don't want to add to the miscellaneous.
So add 18. I don't know, I thought we talked about this just now.
We talked about dropping miscellaneous to 20,
Dropping the miscellaneous down to 20 and then dropping the fuel down to 20?
no, 30.
30.
Down to
30.
30. Okay.
So we're
So
losing
we're
20.
dropping 20,000,
So you still,
so you're almost level funding it again, that's what I think.
Right.
That's what he's trying, I think, right, is that we're at 34, so we're 14,000 off the level funding, the miscellaneous line.
So 45 goes to 30.
That's what I wanna make sure, I'm writing it because I'm
So-
sending it over.
Okay, so I wanna make sure.
So I just wanna, and what I can
And then
say,
the 25 goes to 20.
goes
so
to
so
20.
I'm gonna
Okay.
change line.
Because I thought I heard something
31,
different.
I have to get my glasses on. 31 to 30, and then I'm gonna change line 39 to 20. And I'm gonna do the new rate structure. And if you want,
And
I
take
can,
the trucks out.
I took the trucks out.
That's off the,
It's on Form 1, but when we go to the selectmen, or do you want me to take it right off of Form 1? Take it right off of Form 1? It's capital articles, 65,000. Take that line right off,
yes,
okay?
I would.
All right, take line, capital, I didn't put a number on it, okay. So I'm gonna take the capital off, and just let's go back to the health insurance. Do you want me to drop that down by one person?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
Laura, going back, sorry, capital, plan program, would that be 9, you're gonna drop that?
I'm dropping it.
50,000?
No, I'm dropping the 165, the bottom one. No, you can't drop the capital plan.
That's what I
You
was,
can't drop that
when
one.
you said that, yeah, I
It's
didn't
that,
think you
it's the
could.
165 all the way at the bottom, Jim.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm dropping that, okay?
And,
that'll
you
be
know,
reflected on the back page.
right.
that way, Laura,
And then I'm dropping one employee off the top.
you'd have one fiscal year, you'd have a fiscal year running the plan to see when, after the year is done, to see, then you're gonna have real numbers
Right,
when this plant's going.
Right.
Okay, work with real numbers.
exactly.
Then you can see if you have enough to start the capital plan again,
Right. Right.
okay? Right now, I don't believe is the time to start the capital
And
plan.
keeping the
With the increase in the rates that we're looking
I-
at, just at debt
I
service.
got it, I got it.
That plan will be trial and error for a few months.
Yeah,
Cost.
yeah, yeah. But until you get any real numbers, it's all projected numbers.
Yeah, until you get the
Go.
first year run, like Scott says.
Exactly.
Get the first fiscal year in. It's loopholes here now. I mean, we're all
Well, you guess,
anticipating, we're all
it's a
thinking
guessing
for the
game.
best to save money. But the actual number's gonna come in when you tally up that whole year for running, you know?
so,
Okay, so, yes. It's just gonna be 50, exactly, exactly. I'm gonna, okay, so the auditors want, just so you know, this 5-year plan. I'm gonna keep it like that, but we'll make a note in the comment that we postpone these.
Put it in
three
for, just put a note in, it's gonna start at note 15.
I don't want, I'll just write a note postpone.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work to move the,
Yeah.
there's actually a 10-year capital plan.
That's on the 165, Laura.
Yeah, I'll just, in that last page, I'll just write in the comments, postponed. And then we'll see, you know, we might, you know, I don't know. In the
You
fall,
don't know,
we
you
can come
you
back
don't
in
know
the
until it all
fall.
plays out. You don't know until this whole thing is built, okay, and running. Do you gonna know what your exact costs?
Laura, just a quick question on number 11 on Form 1. Stabilization fund, did you take that up?
Okay, so notice there's no money there, okay? There might be money in that line. Judy Pickett is working on a town meeting article for us to set up a stabilization account. And we would move money from the free cash into the stabilization account
Okay,
if we can get that passed at town meeting.
so it's gonna be an article. It's gonna
Right,
have to be a
but the
sub-
following year, in FY15, you'll start seeing money in that line. That's why that's on there. Whatever money we don't use every year will just be on that line.
Do you
So,
have any anticipation of what you have in the free cash account right now?
I do, but I'm not allowed, I don't know where Sue Bailey is right now.
Yeah.
That's what we were working with the auditors. So
Well,
I'm
that
not allowed
was-
to talk about it, basically.
Well, no, I mean, that'll
Because my
go,
number and her
Well,
number,
that's
right,
just
is
her
a little
saying.
different.
but I mean, it would be good if
She's done.
we do have,
So we get anything.
generate some extra money in there.
Right.
It's gonna help the budget.
Well, it'll help stabilization.
Yeah.
It's gonna, and that will help the following year. The thing that we have to start planning for is the treatment plant, repair and replacement. You know, there's a lot of parts. The membranes alone, every 7 years, are $500,000. So any extra money we have every year, we should be putting it away
Yep.
so that we don't have to raise the
Build it up.
rates or borrow money, because we would never have the $500,000. We would have to borrow money to fix those membranes, the way this budget is
Yeah.
set today. So we're looking at setting up a stabilization account for any unforeseen emergency in the water. If we have a major water break, you know, we would go to our stabilization account. if we have any parts broken down, we're gonna go there. I don't see stabilization as buying trucks or, you know,
No.
routine things. It's really a savings account to either bring the rates down or to, you know, unforeseen emergencies, repair and replacement. But the town meeting article will be pretty clear. Judy Pickett's working on that right now. I haven't seen it, so I know she's working on it. So I think that's all I have, unless there's any other questions.
Nope.
I hope I was helpful tonight, I don't know.
Laura, thank you for all
Going
you've
in the
done.
right track.
Thank
Laura.
you, thank
you.
you. I appreciate
You're
it.
doing
You're really doing
Three or
a
four
lot of
months.
homework.
Thank you.
You need a day off.
I need a
Cool
day off.
tomorrow.
I need a day off. You're absolutely right. I'm looking pretty tired. I need to go to Florida and get some
Yeah.
color.
There you go.
And I will say, Laura, you're here on the weekends and you're dedicated right here.
Thank you, Jack, I appreciate
And I
it.
see when I ride by your car, Laura's working, why is she here? Take Saturday and Sunday off,
Right,
Laura.
budget to pass
One
on.
day.
We can make a vote for that?
Doing 3 jobs, 4 jobs in one.
Because we voted on the last budget.
She's gotta, Laura's gonna make the changes.
So you want
With the
both
rate
the
structure,
changes for me
or
to send over?
Wait for
Well, if
Roy
we-
to come back.
Yeah, if we don't do that, then we come in for another meeting
Right,
to discuss this again. So rather than, we sharpen our pencils tonight. Let's look at what the other people have to say downtown.
right, and it's gonna change, you know it will.
Yeah, so rather than have another meeting and discuss what we already discussed tonight, I think we ought to just pass it on down there
Wait for
and open
Roy.
up the dialogue.
At least something's on the table, Tim.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, and going,
And the rate, that rate, one of those rate sheets says,
Well, the first rate sheet is what the one I'm
Okay.
going with.
okay,
I'm going with this rate sheet, I should have numbered it, I'm sorry. The first rate sheet, which is almost the lowest rate with the discount, and maybe it'll move a penny or two based on the changes we made tonight.
16,
It'll
41
probably
was
be
it?
like
And
16,
that's,
39, or
and
60.
that's in draft form. This is all draft too.
This is all, well, yeah, obviously,
Okay,
these are
yeah.
not set in stone.
Ensure that, please, that that's written on it, draft two.
Definitely, yep, everything's stamped draft.
I'll make a motion to send that to town hall with the changes and the draft two and the rates and the budget.
In a second.
I made that motion.
okay. Oh, you made a second on that.
Oh, did?
No, I was
Mr.
asking
Chairman.
you.
Okay, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, guys.
I make a motion to adjourn. Do I?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
hopefully we don't see any snow tomorrow.
Oh, I hope not. Well, they said, what, 5?
Members in attendance, Laura, Mrs. Snow, Mr. Cook, Mr. Dalzell, present. Have we read the minutes?
I have.
On March 6, 2013, do I hear a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make that.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would like to reorganize the board. My term is expiring in May. I've been chairman for quite a few years of the board. And as I said, my term is up in May. Did take my papers out to run again, but I don't know if I'm gonna turn them back in. A lot of stuff going on, personal life, town life. I'd like to hear a motion to reorganize the board.
Long problem with it. I'll make the motion to, you can do it, but I mean, I don't want chairmanship.
Do I have a second reorganizing the board? I'll second the motion. All in favor? Aye.
I'll nominate Tim, I don't wanna.
Well, are you seconding reorganizing the board?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'll nominate Tim.
All in
if I
favor,
don't
reorganize? Aye.
want- Right.
Nay.
You don't want to reorganize the board?
I don't have time.
I'm gonna be gone.
Well, you can finish out your term, Scott.
I
I don't have the time to do this.
the motion's been made, seconded, and passed. I don't either. Okay? I've done it for a long time, but you know what? You've been on the board for 5 years. Roy's been on the board, okay? Roy's done chair for a while. You've got another year on the board. I nominate Tim as chair of the Board of Water Commissions. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I can't accept. I'm too busy. I only have time to be a
What are you a
member.
board member for if you're too busy?
Chairman's a lot of responsibility, Scott, as you well know.
You know, I've been doing it for a long time, Tim.
Yeah.
Long time,
Did I?
okay? And
I didn't.
I'm done.
Well, then, if you're done, you should.
I'm done being chair.
Then you
Step
should.
up to the plate.
Well, you should
We
resign.
just nominated.
If you don't want to be chairman, you
this
should
is
resign.
Tim, this is organizing the board itself, okay? The motion's been made, seconded, voted, okay?
Yep.
And you don't want to be chair of this board,
I'm not gonna
but you
be-
want to settle.
Give me 2 months and I can make time with my
You
schedule
know
to
what?
be chairman.
You're chairman. The agenda's yours.
I'm not
Been
accepting.
nominated, voted
I'm
by
not
the board.
accepting. I'm not accepting it.
Voted by the 2/3 majority of the board. Step up to the
I'm
plate.
sorry, I cannot
Step up to the
accept
plate and.
In 2 months I'll be able to accept it, but now-
And be a man.
In 2 months from now, I'll accept the position. But I'm very busy right now. I can't accept the position. Any more than you can.
You've been on this board for 5 years. 5 years?
Are you resigning, Scott?
5 years.
Are you
No,
resigning?
I'm,
Okay, so-
my term is expiring.
You have just as much
Okay.
time as me to
So,
serve as chairman. And
it's all yours, Chairman. Toomey.
You pushed this off to,
Chairman Toomey.
off yourself. You're still chairman, as far as I'm concerned. I want the
That's fine.
board
The
to,
board just voted.
well, I want the board to reconsider.
I'm not reconsidering.
I make a
Because
motion that the board
it's time
reconsiders this
that
decision.
somebody steps up to the plate.
I'm making a motion that this board reconsiders their decision.
Then you shouldn't be a board member.
Don't tell me I shouldn't be a board member.
If you can't step up to the plate of the board that you've sat on for the last 5 years
I'm still
and
sitting on this
accept the
board.
chairman
I'm still sitting on this
for,
board.
a minimal amount of time, then you're a sorry excuse for a member.
I'll take it for the 2 months, if that's what you want. I don't really have the time to spend, but I'll give it a shot if you want me to.
Mr. Ricker has stepped up to the plate. Do I hear, wait a minute, first of all, the board took a vote and voted.
I
you
asked,
as
I
chair.
made a motion that the board reconsider their decision. How do you want to handle that?
Do you want to second the motion to reconsider?
If he doesn't want it, okay, 1 second.
You just said, Roy, that you didn't have the time to do it. Now you're saying that you have the time to do it?
He's not gonna be around to do it.
Well,
So one of us has gotta do it, Tim. If you can't do it, then I'll try and do it.
The
Best I
motion's
can.
been seconded. A vote? All in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
nay.
Do I hear a motion for chairman?
Well, make a motion. I'm not a party to this, Scott. You should still be chairman.
Where is it written in stone that I have to be
I'm
chairman of
telling
this
you.
board? You're telling me.
I'm telling you.
You're telling me
It's my recommendation.
that it's written in stone that I gotta be chairman of this board.
How long is this gonna last, Scott?
Scott, can I just say a couple things?
Yes, Mr.
You only got 2 months to go.
I know.
Why are you,
I'm done.
well, the whole
I don't
thing
wanna be
is, Scott.
chairman anymore,
Well,
Jack.
no, I'm just saying,
Because my term is gonna expire, okay? I offered
That's your
it to a
choice.
board member.
but
It's a
why,
3-member
I'm
board.
just asking, not as a board member or as a personal guy, a friend of all of you guys, why we all getting all in a turmoil when we get a lot of
Why
important
isn't
business?
Mr.
If I
Toomey
had-
stepping up?
There's a lot of
If
stuff
I had time to be
coming on the
chairman,
water
I would
board's
step
plate in the next month or two. And
You know, I got things going on too. I don't have time. I can say the same thing, Mr. Toomey.
Okay, so,
I mean,
So-
Tim's
so
elected
I've
like
been
you're
doing it
elected
for
and
12
Roy's
years.
elected. I know it. It was,
And he's been on the board for
Can
5
you let-
years and will not accept the nomination as chair.
Mr. Chairman, can you let Mr. Cook have a few words?
all I wanna just say, Scott, I mean, I've been on the board of selectmen, but, and I don't want the chairman's job. I mean, we do come up with a chairman, and we elect a vice chairman and clerk. You understand how we work? But for you, Scott, to throw this in tonight, I mean, we got a lot of issues
Oh, I
coming,
know.
and you've
I
been involved
And
in
in 2
running
months,
the board,
my term
Scott.
expires, Jack.
I know
2
that.
months. So it's
I-
time for somebody to jump in and get their feet wet and start learning how things are done.
Well, I think your 2 other board members know how this board is being run, am I right? I mean, you gotta work with them, you're doing it, and just because Mr. Toomey been on there 5 years, maybe you might wanna reorganize, you and Roy
I
and
wanna
him.
reorganize too.
After
You want to
election's over.
I don't want to reorganize.
But I
Roy's
can't,
going along
I'm
with
no part of that, to say that, I'm just looking what,
All right, then
We're
then
all
I'll do
working
this.
together.
I nominate Roy as chair. Do I hear a second? You want to take chair?
I'll do it, nobody else.
Second the motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. You seconded it, you gonna vote on it?
Is that right?
You want no
I
part?
abstain.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that your
No.
answer?
My answer is, we need to have some of these
Yeah.
issues that we've
Yeah.
had all along
There you go.
with this department in the last
Case
year or
closed.
two. And I think what we.
Roy's
You don't have
chairman,
to
wait a
talk
minute.
over me. You don't have to talk over me.
Do you want
I'm
clerk?
making a statement. If you don't want to accept the responsibility, what's been going on
Me,
here.
accept the responsibility.
Yeah, that's
You,
right.
who've been on the board for 5 years, Mr. Toomey.
I'm gonna wait till you have your temper tantrum over here, then I'll start talking.
And
okay?
can't accept to be the chairman of the board. Yeah, okay,
I think you
Okay.
should bring this board
okay.
to the completion of all these things
Yeah.
that are getting asked
Yeah.
from downtown.
Yeah, my term is ending in May. And I asked to reorganize the board so that the next person can
Well,
get in line
Yeah.
to run operations.
Why would
But
you-
obviously,
Why would you
don't
nominate
want-
me if?
You don't want him.
Why did you nominate me?
Because Roy's clerk.
Well, why didn't you nominate Roy? Next, and the logical
I-
step would be to have the clerk step up to the
He
chairmanship,
did,
like before.
he did. He did when you turned it down. He
I didn't
stepped
turn it
up to
down.
be chair.
I didn't turn it down
Okay,
before.
would I'll do this, okay, with reorganizing the board, okay? Roy accepted and voted to the board to be chairman.
Yeah.
I'll nominate you as clerk. Do I hear a second?
Are you just bailing on everything, Scott?
Do I hear a second?
I'll second
All in favor? Aye. You want to be clerk?
I guess I'm clerk because
You're
you guys
clerk.
just voted me in.
You're clerk. With that over, there's the reorganization of the board.
Okay, Scott.
it. Yeah, we gotta sign the, billing commitment.
It's right there in front of Scott, I didn't,
What's this,
That's the proceeds taken in for the month, Roy.
We're
That's
just gonna
the
send
March.
a top sheet, correct?
That's,
Yeah,
yeah.
those bills are gonna go out tomorrow.
What calendar, right?
Today's the 6th.
With the fiscal 14 annual budget proposed revenue rate.
So what I did, Roy, was, you know, I hear that, you know, the rates are pretty bad, so we all know that. So what I did was, I did the budget cutting out the capital project, well, the 165,000, cutting out the trucks. I think you requested that. So the 3 sheets here, so this little sheet here has the 3 different rate structure, depending on what you want to do tonight. And I just put all those statistics in there, so if you want to look at how I got to these numbers.
This one here, right?
So this one here, Roy, this one here shows all, it's going to show 3 different ways. And we can talk about, this purple one is with the capital. This shows the budget with the capital. I cut out the trucks. So if you want to keep the trucks in, this is what the rates would be. We'll go through each one of these sheets, all right? Looking for ways to cut the budget, you know, and see what you want to do.
I talked to Ron from the Highway Department
Yep,
today, and he has no problem with us if we wanna hold off on the loader
that's what I think we should do.
and the truck
yeah.
and share it back and forth. He says the only thing is, if it's
Right.
not overtime, if one of their guys, we have to pay
Yeah.
the extra, and if we use it all day long for the fuel.
Yeah.
The thing is, I've asked, and nobody seems to know, is how often do we have to clean this lagoon? Is it once a week, once a month, every 6 months?
You see in the beginning, depending on when we flush, you know, as the water goes through the system.
The thing is, we had it down for $100,000 for a loader, and we're gonna be hard pressed to find one for 100,000.
Well, that's
We're
our
more like
share.
125.
Well, it's our share of the state revolving fund. There-
But what
so
I'm
we're
saying,
gonna
maybe,
lose-
maybe we could back off on some of those things to try to save some money.
We're gonna lose that money, from the state. So, but that, I get it, you know, if we don't need the loader. we
It's
can
just,
put-
I'm looking at these rates, I mean, they're gonna hang us down off and clock at the town hall
Well, so you
at
know,
these rates.
so the purple sheet is, we're not buying the dump truck, we're not buying the loader, and we're not buying the air compressor. So we're not gonna have any articles, at town meeting. I took it out, all right? So, that being said, the first sheet that we're looking at is the rate structure without the articles.
This is Form 6, correct?
Right, Form 6, the first one is without. And then I did another thing that we've talked about over the years, Scott, is to get rid of the discount. The discount costs us $120,000 to give a 5% discount. So the last sheet is, if we want to cut the budget 165 plus 120, this is what the bottom rate structure would look like, is the last sheet. If we cut those 2 things out of our budget.
Was that the 1641?
So, the rates would be $15.90 if we cut out the discount and we cut out the last sheet. The last sheet, I didn't get to number them, I'm sorry, I was working hard on this, trying to see what we wanted to do tonight. So,
The thing is, I'm still getting slack from people around town,
I get it,
and
I get it.
I don't know what we can do.
So,
The people want the discount. There's a lot of the older people count on it.
but then it's
But wait,
120,000.
hear me out for a second,
Okay.
please. And they also, they wanna know why we can't do it like the light department, so they get it at the end of the month. A lot of the older people don't get their social security checks until the end of the month, so they can pay the thing. And the way we have it set up, our bills are going out somewhere around the 10th, and they do it around the 20th. can we bump up so they don't go out till the 15th and then do it till the 30th? You know, is there some way that we can do something else? We gotta do everything we can to make the public happy. I mean, they're not happy with us.
Okay, so the light department does the same discount. They do the 15th to the 30th.
Right.
We do the 10th to the 20th.
But
So-
what it is the people
Yeah.
are saying they don't get their social security checks until the end of the month. And
Okay.
so by it being due on the 20th, they don't have their check.
See, the light department doesn't charge interest and demand. So I could go back and look at that again and bring.
It's something I'd like us to look into
I
and
don't
see if
know
we
how we
could
can
possibly
do
do it.
I don't know how, see, they don't do it, so, I'll have to go back to the billing software program and bring it, I wasn't
But I mean,
there.
people are talking about it and anything we can do to make people happy, you know?
I don't know, I have to go back to the billing soft, and we'll talk about it at the next
Yep.
meeting. I'm not prepared to talk about it.
No, it's something to look into, please.
Sure, I will, yep. Yep.
So if we have to look into that, we can't really move on this tonight.
No, you can't,
Okay.
you can't.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Ricker, I'm looking at this proposal on 80 consumerization at 87,600 gallons.
So
You're
this-
using that as a number.
So this is Jackson, okay, yeah.
Now Raleigh is running way over, an average bill I'm looking at is creeping to 1,300.
Mhm.
Is that correct? Is that what it's gonna be? We're gonna be the highest paid
What sheet are you on?
ratepayers. I'm on
This
this
one here.
projected one here, Roy, down here.
This one here, Jack?
Yes.
Yeah, that sheet there. I'm just wondering where that struck up from. I mean, from where to where. Consuming right now, and if you go up in your total bill, where did that creep from where? Was the number 800? Was it 1,000 to almost 13? Yeah, I would say it's almost 13. It's halfway between 1,400 for the actual consumer. Now, you look down everywhere, yeah, I mean,
The closest ones we got is Essex and Reading.
It's almost
Right.
doubling in 1 year.
I mean, the city of Newburyport, you're looking at almost 800, probably 750. I would say, looking at the scale, you know, from 200 to 1,400, if you look at that. Now, how come, the question I want to ask is, how come this is skyrocketing right now when it wasn't projected like last year or whatever, to go to town meeting
So,
and
Jack,
to
this is-
generate money for our station?
This is what we presented for the last 3 years in the slideshow. This is why I brought this.
Well, the reason we gotta go up so much is because of,
This
the
is,
borrowing part.
You got a borrowing
right,
part.
that They locked
Yeah.
in.
But once that borrowing part, situation is paid, do we start falling down?
oh, yeah, yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
this,
how long is this gonna be for,
this
Laura,
is a
to pay?
20, this is a 20-year borrowing. It's.
So this is gonna go for 20 years?
Well, it's gonna go down a little bit, but Jack, it's not gonna go, we're paying, the treatment plan alone is $900,000 a year. The treatment, the debt.
Well, just my other question is, I mean, a lot of these towns, for instance, where's Georgetown on here? Where do I see them? They on here or not?
No, because they didn't report, Jack,
Okay.
not all the
Uh,
towns report to the tie and bond.
The,
Groveland's
this
on there.
900,000
Byfield's on there.
is
Yeah, but I mean,
because of
Byfield hasn't got.
Karen locking the money in, correct?
Excuse me?
This 900,000,
810.
810.
Well, plus the 80, Scott, for the administration fees. That's locked in.
Why did we have to lock that in when we had that plan for fiscal 15 and not 14? I
So,
don't-
that's when Karen Summit came to you, the board, a couple of weeks ago, and explained why, the state revolving fund pooled us with different borrowings, and we weren't anticipating that. So, I think we went,
We did not project the 810,000 for this,
we didn't.
for the fiscal year 014, okay, which sped everything up. Okay? So we were looking to pay for the fully fund, the build out, on the 12.3 in
2015.
2015. That's what we had projected. But because the treasurer, okay, went and did the total borrowing and rolled it, they rolled it all into one,
Right.
along with other things that because the treasurer does the borrowing, does the bonding and the borrowing.
Right.
And they chose that, what's it, once a year?
So yeah, right now we already paid, we're getting ready to pay a debt.
So that's why the 810,000 is in 014's budget.
But like Lloyd, if we
Right
don't
now.
buy the loader, getting back to your point, we've already borrowed the 12.3, permanently borrowed, and that's in this
Right.
budget. But if we don't, we bring the treatment plant like we were planning to bring it under, I know we can't guarantee it, but we're gonna save some money. And then if we don't buy the loader, the borrowing in FY16 will go down. So a little bit, not much, maybe 100,000, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, we don't know how much we need that thing, because Weston Sampson hasn't told us how many times we're gonna have to clean this.
For
thing up.
FY14, it's, we're just
No, I
talking.
mean, the once a month or once a week, what I'm saying. So instead of spending $100,000,
Right.
which a most loader's
that's fine. I took it
125
out.
right now.
I heard you, I took it
Um,
out.
If we can use the highway department, it ain't gonna
Yep,
cost less money, it makes more sense, the
But
town
I-
already owns that
I
machine.
didn't put in the budget using the highway department. So if there's, that's something as we work through this with the selectmen, I gotta put the salaries for the highway department in this budget, and I didn't do it.
Well, the way Ron explained it is that we can, if we have an operator, which we have Rob, we can use the loader, and all we have to do is put the fuel in it, is what the standard is for, like when they borrow jackhammer or borrow something from us, the same thing.
Okay, I mean,
You know,
I haven't
am I
thought
correct,
about
Sue?
that yet, yeah.
Do you have any idea what size loader you need? Do you need a $100,000 loader or a $40,000 loader?
I don't think you can find a 41 anymore.
Well,
I'll
I
tell you
meant
the
like
truth.
a small Kubota. You don't, what do they,
I mean, a new 2-yard, 3-yard machine is over 100 now.
I realize that. But Scott, when you went out the other part of the state for that site visit, what size loader were they using?
They did not have the drying basins out in Gardner. Okay, their facility, okay, with it, they didn't have they refurbish it through, they tight tank what they cleanse with acids, okay, and how they purge the system. They tight tank it and have it taken off premises, and the residual that's left from it, okay, gets put back into Lake Crystal Lake.
Okay.
Crystal Lake. So they don't have drying basins like we're gonna have out at the filtration plant.
Sounds like they're
Because
pumping instead
they
of using a
come-
loader.
They pump from a lake. They pull from a lake, from a top water, not groundwater.
I have another question. The water department has 7 trucks. Could they cut down a couple of trucks, save some money?
The only thing that I see us do is we definitely need another 4-wheel drive pickup with a plow, because all we've got is that one. And if that one gets some age, I feel a year, the one ton.
That's truck 5. The only,
No,
truck 5, the gas tank fell out.
Right, so that's out of
Right.
service.
The only plow truck we have is the 1-ton dump.
And if something happens to that, we gotta ride that backhoe all over town. And
You have the old 09, is that a 250 or a 350?
the old 9, which one's that? Is
Yeah,
that the
yeah.
1 ton?
No, that's
Utility body on it?
that's the newer one we bought, the 09. It's got the utility body on it.
That is two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive?
Is it 09 that we bought?
So
Oh,
that's
wait a
the
minute,
four
wait a
by
minute,
four,
wait a
that's the
minute.
350,
Yes.
truck 10.
Truck 10.
I'm sorry, truck 9, you're right, Scott. Truck 9, I wasn't planning to replace truck 9
No,
Well,
maybe
no,
we
but
could
what
put that
is-
plow from,
No, what I'm
5
getting-
onto that.
until FY 15.
What I-
Truck 9 wasn't in the loop.
What I'm getting at, if you had a surplus plow from an old truck, you could put it on that Ford because they're interchangeable.
Right, 'cause we're not gonna get rid of the plow and the lights and all that that are on 5.
We could put a plow, you could put a plow frame on 09, on truck 9, the 2009 F-350,
That's what I'm getting
okay?
at.
And put a plow structure on that, so that you
And
can
we've got a
plow,
plow here.
so that you can plow with that truck.
It only has, I think John mentioned there a month and a half ago, only has 60,000 miles on it.
Right, we just put new tires on it, I do believe, not too long ago. But that one, you could put the plow frame on it to plow with. That's a four-wheel drive 350 with a utility body on it.
There you go.
It's single tires, right, so we still use
Single
the 8-foot
tires.
plow.
Single tires, yeah. So, I mean, as to needing another
We
plow
took the
truck,
trucks all out.
you could do that
We took
instead
all
of
the trucks
purchasing
out,
another truck.
That would save you $40,000.
Right.
So you took the trucks out, Laura?
I
You
took all the trucks, so we should go through which rate structure and then we can talk about which budget.
Well,
Um,
is there money put forward for the future, as far as buying trucks in the future?
No.
So-
Well, there's the 30,000 is still in there, the emergency reserve. And that really is,
That's not to be used for trucks, though.
it's not enough money for a truck, it's 30, maybe we could get one for 29, I don't know.
Could do some shopping, we can, Laura, but.
I took the
you know, right?
trucks out,
Is there some place that we can cut something, is what
I
I'm
took the
saying?
trucks out.
No, is there something else
The
that we can cut?
discount, I know the seniors need
Well,
it, but
the
the
thing is
seniors
too-
are paying more in rates
Yeah.
to get a discount. You have to
I-
pay for your discount. A lot of water departments don't give discounts. The light department bills in their discount into their rates, just like we do. So you pay for your discount.
Are you saying, Laura, if you do away with the discount, the rates will come down a bit?
So that's on Form 3. On the Form 3 is the budget with no trucks and no discount. So our rates will go up 41%, which is our debt, Jack. I mean, this is, unless we go back to Form 5 and go back into our expense lines again,
Well, I think what we're
I don't know what
gonna,
else you can cut.
I think you got that's what we're gonna have to do, Laura. We're gonna have to go back in the expense line if we wanna cut any more.
You
We have to go back in
You
the
have to
expense
go-
line and look at the items and to cut the expenses.
We gotta do it
Okay,
tonight.
that's,
is that Form
that's the
5?
only,
Yeah.
that's the only place, if you wanna do cutting, that is
That's on
left
draft
to
one,
cut.
correct.
Okay, so draft 1 is what we were gonna send over to the
But
select.
Form 5, is that what you're saying, go back to that?
If you
draft one.
wanna reduce the rates by whatever you wanna, I don't know how much more you can cut. If you take out the trucks and you take out the discount, now you're getting into your expenses. All right, so
What would that, if we did away with the discount in the trucks, what's that bring our rate to?
$15.90. That's on the 3rd sheet.
And that's still bringing us up.
So the first sheet, let's just go through this, okay? And I'm just looking at Tier 1. We'll look at Tier 1. So the first sheet on your rates is showing with no trucks. I took the trucks out, okay? And I still gave the discount. It's $16.41 per 1,000 gallons. It works out to be like 2 cents a gallon. On the pink sheet, that's the only color I had, guys, sorry about that, is $18.70. We put the trucks in. I think we all agree tonight the trucks are out. No trucks, 0 trucks. The 3rd sheet is no trucks and no discount, and we're at $15.90.
What's the third sheet here?
So that's with no trucks
The one
and no
under the purple
discount.
one.
So it's either gonna be $16.41, which is 50 cents more per 1,000 gallons, which it doesn't even work out to be a penny, or $15.80. So I think we're on really the third sheet. We're back on the you gotta decide on the discount, I guess,
So the discount is the third sheet. If you take the discount off,
Yep, so at the bottom, you can see how I got no discount.
what was last year's rate?
So,
11.25.
so I put last year's rate on every sheet, so you can see what
Side.
last year's were.
11.25.
So
You see-
even if you take the discount off, it goes from 11.25,
To 15.90, because of the debt.
and you're adding,
You can't get away from the
No,
debt.
you can't get away from the debt.
So if you cut the expenses by 10,000 or 20, it's not gonna affect the rate that much. I'll
thing
go
is,
back and.
How much would we have to cut to bring it down $1 or $1.50?
You gotta cut like 200,000 out of this. I mean, you gotta cut big money out of this budget to bring the rate structure down.
Well, I had
That's
some,
the reality of it.
I have some questions on the budget, on
Okay,
on expenses,
Let's go there.
okay?
What page,
The,
where are you, son?
Page 1.
Page 1.
Now, all the ones where you have the 100%,
Yep,
okay? Those are all new,
those are all
those
new.
are all new added, right?
Well,
Now, they added for fiscal year '14.
so let's go through it.
But what my question is this, of these, are these costs associated with the startup of the plant? And are these costs a one-time cost, or are these budgeted every year for these 100%?
No, they're gonna level out. You gotta just move them over. Okay.
Yeah, but
Well,
that's,
So
you know.
line five, maintenance of the treatment plant.
Right.
That's only for 4 months. So FY15, that number's gonna go up.
This 489,
no,
No,
that's the total, that's the
66,
total for the
90.
maintenance.
All right.
66.8, oh, I'm on mine,
That's-
I've got my old one that I've been,
Oh, here, do you need a new one?
no, I got one here, Laura,
Okay.
I've just been going through it and jotting numbers
Yeah, I'm
down.
glad. Let's go through this. Let's
That's-
talk about it.
That's for 1/3 of the year?
That's only for 4
Okay.
months.
See, it's this
800, that one?
66.8
Is only 4 months
Is
of
for 4
operating
months?
the treatment plant.
for operating.
So that number
plant.
is gonna go up for FY15. The private treatment is to have a Weston and Sampson guy come in and operate the treatment plant. We haven't discussed all of these things yet.
We just threw that number in because we had thoughts of
Right, I was taking direction.
privatizing the treatment
Yeah.
portion of this facility.
And
So,
that,
so
and that number's only good for
So,
4 months.
that's well, they're all
That-
projected numbers.
Yeah, that's an estimate. The engineering and operating labor, that number's not gonna go away.
Now,
That's-
is the 30,000 for the engineering and operating labor, that's for the plant?
For the plant, these are all treatment plant. I
Okay.
should put that in there for
Um,
you, okay? I should write treatment in there, that's a good thing.
But the question I had is, we have here under engineering, operation, and labor of $30,000. And then in the maintenance budget, you have $60,000 for water system distribution, treatment, and outside service.
Oh, yeah,
Where are you finding this?
Okay?
yep.
Now, the engineering, operating, and labor, that's just for the treatment
This
plant?
is just treatment plant. Just treatment plant.
That's not covered under the SRF of that plant? Because, see, in the past, outside services, we had listed, that's what we listed as for
Well, you can see.
engineering
It
was
went down,
under.
I took 19,000 out of that and put it to the treatment plant. So you see that budget going down?
Where are you at now, Laura?
Okay, I'm sorry, we're now on Form 5, line 12. Outside services is what Scott's talking about.
Line 12, right,
That-
water system
that
distribution,
number-
treatment, outside services.
That number was for the engineer, so out of the 30, 19 was already in there. So we only
Okay.
went up 10.
Right.
You went-
I just wanted to
You're
because
right. You're
I
very
didn't, I picked it, I'm saying, I'm
You're
looking and
right.
I'm saying,
You're
you
right.
got 60 in one and 30 in the
Well,
other.
that's-
Are they overlapping? Is
No.
there any?
I'm trying and we're trying to make it more clear. Treatment, how much it cost us, distribution. And then, you know, all the people and all the players are gonna fall into either one of those Years ago, we did everything. But it seems to be, with the new treatment plant, it's gonna be more specialized, Scott.
Now, for outside services, we've had, in past years, we've had a line for that, right?
The fiscal team wanted to combine that. They wanted that all together. So I combined different lines, because you can see now we have 39 lines. You know, we can have 40 lines. I mean, I can go as far as.
Well,
Yeah, you're right, you used to have it, but we combined it.
we combined it in past years.
No, in this year.
In this year, we combined it. So the 30, well, to answer my question, the 30 grand is, the engineering is just for the filtration plant.
It is.
On top of what their, I mean, this is to
Well,
run the plant.
To be honest, so what's gonna
Okay,
happen?
this is not
No, it's gonna.
building the plant, this is to run the plant. You're gonna have $30,000 of engineering costs a year to run that plant.
That number might go down in FY15, because the engineering's gonna help the guys and work out the bugs. You know, the training and all of that is built into this 30,000. The SCADA system alone, and then we're gonna talk about SCADA every week until you guys are so sick of listening to SCADA. SCADA is a huge undertaking. SCADA's going to run the treatment plant. So
That's
this,
so it can be run from here or
it can
whatever.
run from your house, it can run from your truck, you know. We might end up reducing our staff after we get the SCADA up and DEP allows us within 6 months or a year. We can run SCADA remotely. We can run the treatment plant without manning it. So FY15, our budget is gonna look very different than FY14. We're in startup here in this.
I'd just like to see something 14 to make us look halfway decent. We're
Well,
trying to save
you
something.
just cut your trucks out, and if you cut your discount out, that's 200 and, what does that work out? That's almost $310,000 you just cut out of your budget tonight.
No, we got one here that I don't understand, Laura. Line number 30 in that same page.
Line 30?
We doubled that.
Because we
Comcast phones, Verizon.
combined our phones, that used to be 3 lines.
Oh, okay.
So this is a new learning curve for me too. You know, I'm trying to take direction from you.
No, I'm just,
And for the fiscal team, and try to make everybody
Did
understand.
the fiscal
what's-
team see this?
Yeah.
What was their,
I think I'm doing what they told me to do. I haven't, you know, the last meeting we had last week was all about the audit. The auditors were there with us, Powers and Sullivan, and it was a 3-hour meeting on just other
so
things.
they didn't look at the budget?
Yeah, they've looked at the budget. They haven't seen.
Have they?
We're gonna see it again, you know, I'll be working with them on this too. And the selectmen, and the finance committee hasn't really seen the budget yet. So we have a lot of meetings ahead
no, also on that same page,
on page, okay, yeah.
number 39, miscellaneous,
Yeah.
25. What's that supposed to be for?
So the fiscal team told me to put a miscellaneous line in, just like we're in an unforeseen emergency right now. we have no place in our budget right now for this unforeseen emergency. This line is where I would go for unforeseen emergencies. So this was an advice from the fiscal team for some place where the water department can go to pay for these things that need to be paid for. That is not in any of these lines, Roy. You can't cut that.
No,
You can't.
well, I don't quite understand on the free cash, we have money left over from this
None
year.
of this is free cash. None of
Why
this-
can't we use some of that to go against this
Because
to
it's
keep our
not
rates down?
certified yet, so that money can be used in FY '15.
But you have on line 10 on the front page, on page 1, an emergency operation and maintenance reserve. Is that what you're pulling
So-
out of that,
No.
or is that on top of this?
So that's on top, this I see, Scott, is for any raises, because right now we are negotiating with ASME. I don't have anything in this budget, or the highway department. If the highway department, we could pull out of this line maybe. This is a vote of town meeting though. This is not anything I can pull out today. Okay, so anything that we have in this line it's,
On page 1.
it goes back to that old.
On page
It
1.
goes back to that old 30,000 that you had in there.
Right, we had put in,
And
for an
it-
emergency
It
reserve, we
goes to
had an
salaries.
article.
It usually goes to salaries because we don't have negotiations done. And unlike the general fund, we have nowhere to go. And we
So,
have to pay your people. So this is a line where we would go to for, emergency and maintenance reserve.
No, I'm just looking somewhere where we can cut something, is all I'm looking for.
You can cut whatever, and I can go back to it. I mean, if you want to cut it out, that's fine. You didn't have it this year, and right now, I don't know what's going to happen with all these expenses.
Well, I'm looking at this, Laura, and you got the first two columns on Form 5. You got the categories, I guess, from last year, fiscal year 13, were what we were looking at last year at the same time. And we had to split things out a little bit more, and we added these expenses over on the second column that has numbers on it. And then we get
Number 12, Tim?
we get Form 5.
Number 12 though, right?
Well, like 12, like at 79,000, we get 6,000 for this place, and then 4,000 for the treatment plant.
60.
So we could actually, if you start looking at, say, item 6, supervisory control of data acquisition, we got a new cost hitting us, it's
Yep.
$4,000.
Yeah.
But that's only for 401 Central Street, because we're gonna control everything from here.
Right.
So looking at all these numbers, so these new categories
So what I tried to do
are
here,
added, right?
Yeah,
so what I tried to do here, I took direction, you wanted it level funded. I almost got there, I'm 34,000, well, 25 of it is miscellaneous. I actually didn't.
In the maintenance.
I just moved the money around to
Mhm.
different areas, but we haven't increased our, and you know how tight this budget is run.
So the 455 is what we had this
Last
year,
year.
and 489 is
It's
what,
34,000, but 25 of that is that emergent miscellaneous. You wanna take it out? I can take that out.
So this year, the same thing we were looking at is now 489, plus the new treatment plan is gonna be
The
66,800.
treatment plan is, it's like, you can't, that's just,
I know.
that's just,
that's locked in.
So
I
this-
don't know how you can do it, Scott, I don't know.
so the 489 plus 66.8, is that correct?
Yep,
You can't cut from the
So the
debt
4,
service.
so the 455 grows to the 489 plus the 66,800.
yeah, so you're back on Form 1, we went up 69%.
Okay, so looking back at the numbers we got in fiscal year 13, 455. Did those numbers in reality go down or up because of this
So-
project we had out back?
So that, I did give you a little sheet in there. I'm sorry, I gave you a lot of papers, but, what I did was on this budget breakdown sheet, because Scott, you asked about this morning, I put in FY 12, FY 13, and FY 15, by category, where we were up and down.
This sheet right here.
That sheet.
So wages went from 410 to 492.
And we're level funding wages, which I know is probably, I know the unions are negotiating. I don't know if the personnel plan, maybe they're gonna give me maybe you're gonna give me a raise. I don't know, I'm just kidding.
So versus 12 versus 13, the maintenance went from 366
To 455.
to 455.
Yep. So you went up almost 100,000, but we level funding it this year.
Do you see any place that we can cut anything at all?
I tried to, wait, I'm telling
No,
you.
I'm just asking,
I've been looking at this for so long, and
Well, the
I'm
only-
consumed in it,
The only place you can cut
is the trucks and the
is the
discount.
trucks and
And the discount.
the maintenance line.
And the loader, where did the loader
Okay.
come from?
We took the loader out.
Yeah, but-
Loader's out.
The loader's out, was that loader out last week?
So that is what DEP and the state revolving fund said we needed to operate the treatment
Well,
plant.
the SRF
We're
gave,
saying we don't need it, so we'll take it out.
the SRF
Is paying for it.
has got, how much have they got allotted for that loader?
Yeah.
100,000.
$80,000 out of the SRF.
So the SRF
Is
was
what?
gonna fund that loader.
We're not,
no.
we're gonna take it
They were
out.
gonna fund a portion of it. They were putting
Right.
80-something
You
thousand
were
dollars
involved, yeah.
towards it, okay, towards the loader. That's in that line item of the SRF, that had I think $80,000,
Right.
So why did
okay?
they decide to pay $80,000 toward a
Because
$100,000?
they, according to their plan, we're gonna need a loader up there 3 days a week. Everybody keeps saying we don't know. I don't know either. They told me I need a loader up there 3 days a week.
You know what might be a good idea, is maybe we get Barbara or one of them, people from Western
Sure.
Sampson to come in at
Sure.
our next meeting and let us know exactly what they think we're gonna have to, how often we're gonna have to clean it out, how much stuff we're gonna get out of there. It might give us a better idea, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is if, like you said, the loader we took out.
So we're-
We took
so
out the 100
We're
grand for the
borrowing,
loader.
we were gonna borrow
Okay.
money at
We
zero.
were gonna borrow-
Now we're gonna throw that out the window.
Right, we were gonna,
But
we
that
were
was,
gonna,
that was not gonna impact this budget that much at all, if the money was gonna come out of the SRF, right?
This is our share of the loader.
portion of it.
See, the loader that they have spec'd, and I think that was Stu was getting to, I think you looked at it, because of the way, I have pictures coming on the website, because I know people want to see what these holding tanks look like. They're huge. They're behind and they're covered over right now, so you can't see them. But I have pictures. You're going to drive down this big, huge hole. You're going to pick up our sludge. You got to lift it up and throw it into a backhoe. You can't do that with a small equipment because the arms, and I think you and John went and
They're
looked at.
drying basins,
They-
is what they
I
are,
think
they're
they need
lagoons. They're
a
drying basins.
So they had spec this huge I'm sorry, I'm not up on trucks. I have a spec sheet. It's pretty big.
You're not
piece of
missing a
equipment.
thing.
You know, I'm glad you're here because I don't really get it. I just see specs and it looks like a big truck. But it's a big, heavy duty Caterpillar.
Where does the loader go to get the sludge? Does it go
It
into a
drives
lagoon
down.
outside, or does
Yeah,
it go
it
into a
we have
tank
two of
inside the
them.
building?
We have two of them. So, and then the pictures will be up maybe by Friday.
Goes down a ramp.
You got to drive
Yeah,
right
it is.
in it. You got to drive right
You
in the
drive
hole.
right into it, Stu, right
And then-
into the drying basin.
And then you gotta
It's concrete.
clean it out, and then you haul it away. And that's we don't have any place to throw it. Legally, it's zone 1.
So could the backhoe do this?
No.
Why not? The backhoe's got a front.
Well, bring Barbara in. I mean, I'm just telling you what they told me.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
but I mean, we had an idea how often we had to clean it and
They
how
told me
much,
3 days a week.
how many yards they figure, how many tons they figure a week or a
And
month.
I did. I looked at it. I mean, I've gone around to other communities. I know how much tonnage. I'm assuming our manganese is going to be just as bad here as it is in
I
Newbury.
don't know
Yeah.
much about it, but it's,
Yeah,
if
it's
it's
all-
in
Did
the
you get
lagoon,
did you get
you're gonna wait for the
a
lagoon
projected
to
quote?
drain out.
Depending on our pH levels, see, this is the
So I
unknown
mean, like
here.
Roy had a good question, I mean,
I've
how
seen
many
lagoons, but if it rains.
tonnage or whatever?
Yeah, I did.
Talking a trailer a week, or we
Oh, we're
talking?
talking huge trailers a week, but we're talking either 19 cents hazardous waste or
Yeah.
$1.35. That's the number we don't know yet
Right.
because we haven't opened the treatment plant. So
Because
I
we ain't
didn't
gonna know that
have,
until we get the analytic work on what the stuff is,
exactly, so I put in,
which
I
is what
put
Tim
in a
does
loader.
all the time. I mean, the analytic work stuff, but
Yeah, but Weston Sampson should give you,
They did, they gave me, it's in the budget.
no, I mean,
Weston
a
Sampson.
projected amount of material gonna
Yeah.
be discharged out of there.
Right
Yeah,
here
but
on,
they say,
on
they've already
floor.
said that we need a loader, so now we're talking about taking the loader off.
Well, they've taken it off for fiscal year '14,
Right, and the
okay?
highway
If you
department
can take
has
it
one,
off for
right?
fiscal year
So we're
'14.
using theirs.
Yeah, okay, because, okay, for,
Can't you use a fill-in for the time
I
being,
think
Scott, out
we'll
here?
be able to, we'd be able to, you know, this is why I said we can take it off. I think.
I mean, we
the
can use it, we
department
can use the
would be able to.
highway departments, and worst comes to worst, we can always lease
Have-
one if you need one for a month.
Right,
Or
alternate
2
methods. There's
You
an
know, you can lease
alternate
one.
method that you can use.
I think
To
it's
do this.
smart, I think it just, let's open it up and see what we need.
Well, the other thing
I
is
think
we
you're
have a
right.
backhoe with a bucket on the front of it, so can the backhoe do it? I mean, I don't know.
It'll,
Do they know we have a backhoe?
Oh, yeah.
it'll save $100,000 out of fiscal year
I already
'14
cut
budget.
that out,
Right,
right?
right.
We cut out
We cut
165,000.
We got
Well, that doesn't
100, we
make
cut the 173 from the capital,
165, which includes,
105 plus the 100 for the
No.
loader,
that
or
included
is
the
that
load.
included the loader?
That included the loader.
What I'm not clear on, Laura, is that we got a loader need for the treatment plant. Now, it's gonna be paid partially out of the SRF. Okay, so it's partially out of the SRF. So is that 80,000 out of the SRF?
Yeah, they expect a pretty big loader.
So that goes into the bond money, and so that goes into our loan.
Right, so we're.
So what are we talking about a balance for a loader?
Because that's our share, that loader that they spec, and I believe John and Scott, you guys were part of it. I have a whole sheet.
So what was the total cost for the loader?
It was like $160,000.
$160,000.
It's a huge loader.
Well, the thing is that in the SRF allotted in one of the lines in their budgeting for that, for a loader, and they allotted $80,000. That's what the SRF, okay, was willing to put toward this,
Yeah.
out of that money.
So should we be
Instead-
getting an
instead of talking about the
$80,000 loader, or should we be getting a $160,000?
I think we cut the loader out. Let's just cut it out. I think.
I think what we should
I
do,
hear you.
my
Yeah,
belief is,
Cut it out.
let's forget about the loader for right now,
All right.
and then our next meeting, next week, whatever, is have somebody from Weston and Sampson come in and give us an idea of what we're talking about for material, you know, how big a machine we really do need.
Can I say 2 weeks for them? Because
Okay.
I don't know,
I mean, do we need a
I don't know
two-yard
if they
machine, or
can
do we
come
need a
next
5-yard
It's
machine?
a phone call away, Roy. You just call them up, you say, hey, look, how big does the loader have to be?
No, I think you're right. We'll bring him in and have him talk to us, but I don't know if I can get him here. I know Barbara's on vacation. I don't know when she's coming back.
No, I just like to know why we need such a
Listen,
big
I
loader,
don't
and how
think-
many yards or tons we're talking.
The thing is, as much as you hate to spend the money when you do get a loader, you can't cut yourself short for a few dollars. You need something to do the job. Maybe they want the large loader for the reach on the arms to dump in a dump trailer. I don't know.
That's what I
Yeah, but you
heard.
take some of the smaller machines now, so those 928s, you know, that size machine, which is a 3-yard machine, 3.5-yard machine, they've got the reach now, they'll reach the dump trailer, we get loaded with them every day of the week.
I understand that.
You know, we don't need a 5-yard machine just to get the reach,
No, but
like you used to have to, you know?
there's still,
I mean, you hate to
Smaller
pass up
ones,
the
yeah.
money, but right now, we're trying to cut something somewhere, you know?
Well, the thing
140,
is-
160,000.
Well, if the state says it's an $80,000 nut, why are we looking at $160,000?
Maybe the state's kicking it. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
Um,
I would be guessing if I said it.
well,
And then it's a
If-
lagoon, if it's a lagoon, these lagoons gotta dry out, and they're not gonna dry out too often around here.
I have a quick question here, if I may. The fuel is going from 38 to 45. You
So you
tighten your
want
belt,
4 and 5, so... Up top. What do you want?
yes. You tighten your belt a notch, Can you get that down to 40?
What did we spend on fuel last year? Wow, you know?
So I look, we're close to 10,000 gallons. That's a pretty good number. And, you know, I put 450 in there. Maybe the price of fuel, you know, still, but
You put 450 for a number for?
I thought the price of fuel was going up. So right
Yeah.
now we're paying what, you know, $4. So maybe that's a little high.
Well,
You know, we can go down there. I can reduce that.
Do you know what we paid last year for fuel?
Yeah,
How much?
it's close to the 38,000.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we run a lot of,
Well, we are billing monthly now, so we do have one truck that's just continuously running the roads. And that, I do believe, is the V6, is the Ranger, that's doing the, that's doing the reading.
Well,
so I'll bring that down 5,000 and, you know,
Where is that?
Thank you.
She's got the gas thing, I can't find it.
it's on Form 5, I'm sorry, line,
31.
31. Oh, yeah, I have to put my glasses on, 31.
So we
I'll bring
dropped
it
that down.
I'll drop that down 5,000.
Could we go any more on that, Laura, or we're gonna have one less vehicle? Well, we're not replacing that right away? That possible, or?
If you cut yourself, then you have no, you
Yeah,
gotta go
I'm-
back to town meeting
Well,
for
we're gonna-
$100 in that line. I mean, it's so close.
No, I realize what you're saying, I'm
So
just looking for a way to cut.
We're looking for big money to cut, like the debt. Why don't we take the debt right out of there, and that'll help our rate.
Okay, sure would.
Great, let's just cut the debt out. We're back to where we are.
Yeah.
The debt, our budget,
Well, that's the thing, is
$1 million, $900,000
It's gonna
is
be-
just our debt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a real number. That's our whole budget is $1.5
So,
million.
Well, all we can do is we can, you know, go through our practices here and see if we can get more efficient.
And I think we
on
need to
using
do that
vehicles and
every
stuff.
day, every single day. Anything we can save money on.
So, I agree, I think we ought to drop it down 5,000, but we ought to look at it with our practices around here.
Definitely, I'm with you guys. I mean, why spend money we don't have to? I get it.
No, also another one, we went up quite a bit, number 18, monthly billing, we went from 9,600 to 18,000.
Right.
And that is because of the treatment plant?
Nope, that's because of monthly billing. We didn't budget enough.
There's more cost to
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
we
send the
didn't budget.
bills out,
So that's a line that we've overspent
go to the
now.
bank,
Oh, all
all
right.
this
So-
other stuff.
My fiscal team is gonna make me do these big sheets and go up and down, and I'm not sure how we're gonna transfer.
No, I just wanted to almost double, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, and the price of stamps just went up, and I'm trying to get people to do e-bills, you know, to try to save mailing. But, you know, there's nowhere to go there. That's a real number. And we're gonna add new people, we're gonna add the country club, and we're gonna add the Village Green, I'm gonna have 50 new people to send bills to, times 12. So, that number's not gonna go down. I don't
Okay,
think.
no, I'm just asking.
Well, wouldn't it be nice if you had solar power and you could knock that $85,000
Well, Scott, I
electric
think
bill down?
You were talking about that.
I know.
I mean, that's, you know, we have to look for
That's,
other ways
that's,
for
you know,
revenue. We gotta look for
That wouldn't help
revenue
us
here.
this year, though, you know?
Yeah.
no, it wouldn't help us this year, but it would in the future.
We need revenue here. We need to get something
Mm-hmm.
to help subsidize the water department.
Well,
And the
that brings in,
ratepayers.
that is a two-edged sword of cutting expenses too.
What about cutting from the phone bills? And you see, looking at the phone bills,
I
it's
know.
got 3,546. Is that our actual?
So I'm gonna, I'm gonna start looking, the
You got
state,
7,000 and 1,500, so it's $8,500 for a phone bill versus what we were paying for before.
because our alarm system goes through the phone lines.
Okay.
So when we get the skater up and running, guys, this is an area in FY14, I see that it's gonna go down. I'm hoping to eliminate some of the phone lines. the cell phones, you know, we gotta start looking at, you know, all of our phones, we have huge phone bills. But I see in FY15, that's an area definitely that will go down. Definitely will go down because it's all gonna be on a web-based SCADA system.
Why did it go so far up though, Laura, this year?
Because I combined several lines, Comcast, for, those used to be other lines, 10.
Okay, so that,
You get Verizon and Nextel and everything all on one
Yeah.
line
Yeah.
now.
so,
Yeah, so you're not really.
last year was several different lines?
You're not looking at apples and apples here.
Okay.
Unfortunately. In FY15, hopefully, you'll be looking at, you know, and you can start
Well,
making.
there's a value to get it on one sheet so you can look at it. But then when you're looking at from past practices,
Right, you're
you're
right,
getting blown out of the water.
you're right. But you're almost level funded, guys, so the money, it just moves around. It just, you know, I broke it out into more areas so we're more transparent.
I came up with,
It's hard
on
to,
the fiscal 14, you had 489, then we're gonna add that 66,800, 555, 800. So that's 100,000 more than fiscal 13.
That's the treatment plant. I mean, you have no,
So that's just treatment plant.
that 66,000 is just treatment plant. I think you anticipated all of that in your rates. I mean, this is all stuff the water department's been talking about
That's,
for years. I don't know how you not operate, you know, we
It's
have elections.
66.8, that's what you're talking about?
Yo, he has the 66,800.
That's for the maintenance, that's just for the maintenance on the treatment plant, 66.8? And that's a projected number of 66.8?
Yeah,
so, but if somebody looks at this and looks at the previous year, Laura, it looks like we go from 366,000 fiscal year 12 to 455 fiscal year 13.
right,
And now we're at 550 for fiscal year 14.
right,
So now, you know,
right. But we're also opening a building here. Okay, so
okay, if we take the building out of it, then we're still going
you're level funded.
for
The level funded, Tim, if you take the.
over
treatment-
100,000 between fiscal year 12 to 14. So-
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you had a lot of bad numbers you knew that we were 60,000 in 10 the year before. What were we, 70,000 in the whole? We had our budget, so if you look at our indirect cost in FY13, we had to pay back to the general fund
70 grand.
$70,000 because our budget was not right.
So our budget was not right
Yeah.
in fiscal year 12?
So this is the problem, if we don't make these corrections and do this, we're borrowing money from the general fund.
Right, we're going back.
And then we pay them back. So you gotta pay them this year or next year, you gotta pay
So when
them
you pay it, if you pay last year's bill and this year's funds, you're getting yourself even further behind.
back. To the ratepayers, it's not, because
Yeah.
then you're getting these big spikes in the rates because you underestimated 2 years ago, you gotta pay them back and then, you know.
Well, we roughly spent, I don't know, 30 to 40,000 over the maintenance line to pay for some of this capital expense out back. Where did that money come from when we
So
paid
that
it
came
out?
out of the expense line.
So that came out, was there any particular line that came
I
out?
only had 17, so it was still back on that number, which I still don't know what that number is.
Right.
That's
This
a-
is for the addition, is
Right.
that what you're talking?
Right. That's in FY13, so we're not even talking about FY12.
But FY12, we paid the $70,000
Back,
back to the general fund
because we didn't have
Okay.
enough money in our budget.
because we didn't collect
Yeah,
from our rates
enough money.
enough for the budget, what the proposed budget. So that's why this, if the enterprise fund went in the red for 70 grand is because we didn't collect from the rate, from the collection from the rates that year. We were 70 grand less in collections.
So you asked me that question this morning. okay? You wanted to
Yes.
see that budget, so I brought that with me, okay? So, the block schedule, okay, we're doing the same formulas this year. But if it was a dry year or a wet year, you know, this is a complicated formula. This is really like having a crystal ball and looking out 18 months to a lot of different circumstances. That year, I wasn't here, but I'm assuming that we had it in our rate structure, but we didn't pump enough water. So we were short.
But also you have, when you're billing, when we were billing quarterly. Let me see, I don't know. if we
Yeah,
did
you
that.
were quarterly.
We were billing quarterly. What happens, what would happen is that you would have, okay, outstanding balances for the end of one fiscal year that wouldn't get paid within the fiscal, wouldn't get paid within fiscal year 012, that were paid in fiscal year 013. So fiscal year 012 was short that those proceeds to be taken in from the billing.
So that's what, when you look at these here where it says uncollected,
Yes, uncollected,
that,
uncollected funds.
we've always budgeted that in, well, we always forecasted that into our rates.
You always
maybe-
put that informational in there.
No, it's
Is
in
it
the rates.
forecasted?
It's in your rates. It always has
When
been.
do you have to have this back in, Laura?
They wanted it yesterday. We're going to town meeting. You and me, have to go to the.
No, I just wonder if we can, in a couple of days, decide what we want to do here, to drop this down to the 15.90 instead of 11 a quarter, or if we want to go.
We don't have, we can just stamp draft on any one of these and send it over. And then when we meet with the selectmen and the finance team, we've got a couple of weeks, right, I believe, of,
Well, that's what-
adjustments, like.
That's what you're gonna have, that's what we're gonna have to do, because,
This is not set in
No,
stone
no.
at this
So-
point.
no.
you know.
Let me see if I
No.
understand this correctly. So we ran over our expenses for the previous year in 12 by about 70,000 that we had to pay in
No,
13.
we had to, we,
That
no,
was-
actually, that
That was
was,
10,
it was for fiscal year 010.
10.
That's what it was. All of a sudden, there was this mysterious 70 grand
Okay.
that was
So there was 70
danced
grand
around from
we had to pay
010.
in 13, right? 70,000.
From
And
010.
then we had enough money to pay, say, $30,000 toward the building out back. So another 30, so that's like $100,000.
But that's already out of your budget, Tim.
Well, I know it, but
It's already out. So when you look
looking
at
at the numbers,
Form
Yeah, but you're
one,
looking-
Tim, Form 1, indirect costs are going down 24%. That's already
Right.
out. That's already out. You can't cut any more there. It's already cut out. We've already taken $70,000. The only thing I see here is to go with no trucks. I think maybe that's good. Let's just try to get through the next year with what we got. And the next question would be the discount. It's a serious question. It's, you're paying one way or the other. That's basically the way that works.
so how did the discount get in there to begin with? You know, any background on that?
I don't know.
Been there since I was,
Yeah,
I don't know how many years.
since the water department started. Oh, if you wanted to go back and look at the records in 48.
I know my grandfather and my
No.
father always try to make sure they get,
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have a lot of, let me tell you, you're gonna have a lot of disturbed people
yeah.
if you crack that down.
A lot of people
Just
really
because
depend
what?
on that.
Huh?
A lot of people really depend on that.
That's right.
Especially with these jumps, yeah.
And you know the other thing, Roy? You generate a lot of money if you wanna think of it. A lot of
It comes in
them,
quicker.
they're gonna come now, people are gonna say, hey, I'm not gonna pay this thing till the end of the month or the deadline, you know? I mean, I jump, a light department, you add it up a year, $10, $12, $120, $150 a year, it's quite a bit. And something like Roy just said, the older people on an income,
Yeah, I think.
and you're gonna hit them on, to me, if I was sitting up front, I wouldn't dump that, I'd rather what
If
some
we,
other
if we
rates.
left the discount there, Laura, what number we got?
So,
Um,
so that's the 1641. And the average bill is $62. Okay,
That's the average bill currently.
that's the new proposed average.
So it's only gonna go up basically 50 cents.
50 cents. So I think what Jack is good advice to the board. I think.
Well, the older people, they,
I think you're
I know
right.
everybody goes for it.
And I'll look into the way the light department, I don't know if I can do that because we do the inter.
I was just wondering if maybe to make it easier if we sent ours out the 15th instead of the 10th.
Well,
We'd say, no,
maybe
we
I can
don't.
get the light department to do the 10th.
Well, so, I've been asked by 2 or 3 different people again. You know, it was before and they've been asked again, because they don't get the social security check until the end of the month.
Yeah.
And they miss the discount and,
Send it out at the 10th and put on there that it's due on the 30th.
See,
Yeah,
they
so we
changed
would,
from
but
a
then that
quarterly
would
bill
change that
or a-
120 for another 5 days. I didn't figure out another 5 days worth of a discount.
See, now that it's monthly, there might be some justification to moving the deadline up. Because
We could do a whole
before-
month's of discount, you know, do away with, and I don't, we charge interest on the first of the month. So anybody that doesn't pay us, the light department doesn't do that.
can we bring that up to, so it starts at the 10th?
I can't because of the way we bill, because I have to print the bill. I need 3, like right now, the bills went Saturday to the printer. He's printing them, you're gonna get the bill tomorrow. That has to have interest and demand on that bill. Because I have to tell people I'm charging interest and demand.
Mhm.
So the light department doesn't have to do that. So their bills are almost 30, you almost get a 30-day discount, probably.
No, 15th they usually come
Yeah,
out.
well, they usually don't,
What do they do,
you're
Jack?
right on that, but the light department, you'll lose your discount,
On the
as
first,
well as you do here, if you don't pay it after that.
because we charge interest and demand.
Right,
So we,
right.
under state law, we need the 5 days. They don't have that
Yeah,
5 days,
right.
so they gotta be doing the same thing I am. You know, we read the last Wednesday of the month. That gives me, like this week, they read on the 29th, I only had, no, the 27th, I only had the 28th. March 1st was Friday, I only had 1 day.
You're too quick with the bills.
I have
Slow
to.
down a little
No, but it's part of, if I miss,
It's part of the system,
if I'm
Laura.
off the system, then the next month and the month after, you
Is
just, it's complicated.
Is this an option if we put it up for a town vote, say, hey,
No,
get rid of the
you can
discount?
go, you can go. No, I think what I'm hearing tonight is maybe we should just give them a discount and make my job a lot easier. Just give them a whole discount for the whole month. Forget about the 15th of the month. If I just gave a discount to the 31st, instead of 10-day, go to,
The 15th,
The
or the
last
last
day
day
of
of the month or whatever.
and then the first day of the next month, you charge interest and demand. But there's no window of people that don't get a discount and will be charged, and you're gonna have the other end miserable. Okay, you're gonna have people not having a couple of days with no discount and no interest and demand. Because we run under a different state law. So, you know, the light department has a little more flexibility than we do. So you have 2 sides of that. I wish I knew who the seniors were. You might tell me, Laura, if you're over 65, everybody gets a discount. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I can look at that. They follow, you know, like the.
I just know, you know, the older people really do count on it, and sometimes, you know, a $10 bill is a lot of money going, you know?
I'll look into it. We'll have to have probably an hour to really go through the whole billing process.
You see
What
you-
we can
see
do
you
and
know,
what we
you
can't
come up with
do.
some kind of an idea or something.
Um,
Can we hold this for a couple of days and make up our mind on this?
You can do whatever you like. You tell me, I mean, I work under the pleasure of the board.
No, I just,
Laura, this, $54,338.
Where are you now? Which-
Is that like current, or is that outstanding with the billing, or is that uncollected funds
you know,
up to
Well,
date?
Because we're monthly billing now.
Yeah, so you fall a little bit,
Right now,
Dragging
we're
behind.
collecting $108,000 a month.
that's the average.
So I'm figuring, you know, that last month, because of the discount, I don't know, that it could be close to 50.
Yeah, okay.
It's running like 42 to 55, some months it's, like this month it was 68. I didn't collect this month, 68.
But basically,
So we
on
used
this
to go
new
over-
billing system, I think I've heard before from you that when you took over, I mean, it's, what, about 80%? 90%?
We have very good collections here, Jack.
So that's good. I mean-
We're in the 90s, so the
Is that right? So
and
that's,
most people are taking I can actually look at that.
Yeah.
That's another sheet I can look at. But that June to July is a very important time, like Scott just said, because we
end of the year,
I
close
wish
the
we
books.
see,
June.
and the light department works on a calendar year, not a fiscal year.
Yeah.
So if we worked on a calendar year, that would give us more flexibility.
Flexibility, yeah.
Well, you also
In
have-
in that 3 month, we would have 6 months.
When does town hall take their costs up, their charges up?
You already approved that, every municipal account gets a discount no matter what. You already
Yeah.
approved
I
that.
know. but
Okay,
when-
so,
When does town hall take their costs out of the enterprise account?
oh, okay, yeah, you're right, June.
Because that
Yeah, you're right,
that
I'm sorry, yeah.
zaps us
Well,
every year.
You wanna cut the budget? There's
No,
There's something that
Yeah.
you talk about getting paid, we're paying a town department to do a town job.
Yeah,
So, okay, we pay the treasurer, we pay the accountant,
there's
we
an
pay
area.
them for jobs that they're already getting paid for.
Laura, is this a real number, this 124.73
What
discount?
page are you on?
Estimated discount on this?
Yeah, that's 5% of our budget, yeah, that's a
But
real number.
Do people really enjoy the discount, or do they wait till the end of the month?
My experience, I think like Jack and Roy are saying, everybody likes the discount. I might miss a few people with the social security checks, but most people do take their discounts in this town.
But how do you know what the actual discount number is? If you just take
Oh, I can
this one?
tell you, see,
Well, it's
okay,
on what you use
Yeah.
for water, Tim.
yeah, I can
Say I
tell
use
you,
100,000, pay my bill's
But they're gonna pay-
100,000, yeah.
But it's the people that pay by the 20th that get the discount, so
and
how do you?
that's the 120, because I can
Right.
print a report for you and tell you I'll print it and bring it to the next
Is that what
meeting.
she's talking
It'll
about?
show you every bill, a total
Yeah.
of all the discounts.
So last year, we lost 120,000 in discounts?
We gave that to them.
Yeah, I know that. but
We
it's
don't
like-
lose that
yeah.
money.
I know, but it's a
For the
matter
town
of...
to do,
We
for
gave
town
it.
hall to do their jobs.
Yeah.
So there is a,
Ask you.
There's a formula for that, yeah. Yeah.
oh, okay, I know it's this formula, but what's actual, and what's the formula? Is that a
This
formula?
is an actual.
He was getting, we added 20 to this.
I thought I saw that.
You know
What do you
I'm saying?
need, Jamie?
Oh, I just,
We need two.
Thought I- maybe I missed it.
Obviously not.
That's why I'm asking.
We're keeping that in, with that is, so the fiscal team, Jamie, on the capital plan,
Yeah, something to.
the
yeah,
last
no.
page of your
the
budget.
last,
So what I
I
did
mean,
was
if we
the
could
columns. These are
20 from here.
mandatory capital,
Right.
we gotta clean our wells.
Yeah.
See right here, this
I
capital?
see, okay.
That's where the
That's
50.
where I missed it, okay.
So if we don't do the hydrants,
Yeah,
yeah, we could
yeah.
take out 15. We could take out 12 for the gate valves.
Right.
I just saw the 215 and that's.
You're
all I
right,
saw.
you're
Okay,
right.
no problem.
You missed,
Yeah.
yeah, I did that maybe last week and you weren't here.
Okay.
I did put in the 5-year cleaning in the capital plan. I did change that, Jack, from last
Yeah,
year.
it's like said
Just so we didn't have to have an article, it's mandated
Right.
anyway. You can't
Every
say,
5 years,
you
I
can't
think.
say no.
And this one here.
But I did take out, all of these articles make up the 165.
Okay, so
So that's where I cut it
No,
out.
no, no,
Yeah.
that's where,
Yeah.
that's where I
I-
just stopped looking.
I don't know what else to do.
No,
I mean, I'm just,
I was just looking for the 50, so that's where. I
that's where the
started.
50
Okay,
came
from,
from.
thank you.
We got-
Yeah, that's an idea.
Water on Form 5, number 36, you have employee travel and training, $5,000,
Yeah.
and you did not have it in 013.
Well, we did, it was in another line. We broke out all the all this employee stuff is starting to be broken out now. It was there, it was just in a different line.
Yeah, it spells it out now,
Yeah.
so. It's
So I
added-
think this
added
is
on the
better.
column.
I think
like
this,
how
I think
all
this
the
is
employee
really
stuff
good.
is at the top.
I think this is, and maybe next year, we'll have to see what our staffing needs are. I think FY15 is gonna level out, and we're gonna be able to cut some things. We'll have more direction on the treatment plan is kinda,
We don't know nothing about it,
we
and
don't, and I don't know
what's
either.
gonna
And
happen.
if we don't
Right,
put
right.
money in now, what are we gonna do?
Well, the
I don't
thing
know how
is
to-
with that, we're projecting. Again, we're projecting
You're right,
costs.
Scott, you know how this works.
Okay, and we have to project these things. Are they gonna be actuals when the time comes?
No,
You don't know.
it's a good guess.
You don't know. You can
18
project from communities that have had a plant like this up and running.
Right.
But there aren't any. It's like Stu asked about the lagoons out in the garden. Well, garden has got the same filters as the same palette, the same filter process, but they don't have drain basins because,
Yeah.
as I said, but I have a question on Form 3, under health insurance.